Well, come on, Red, let's go! Uncle Owen!
Yeah?
The R2 unit has a bad motivator, look!
Welcome everyone, this is Master's Joke, also Master's Joke 75 on Instagram. So today I'm opening up R5-D4 from the Mandalorian vintage collection, and I picked this up in Lame in Lowestoft, £9. Let your eyes be your guide. It's a wonderful figure. I've always been a big fan of R5-D4. It was great to see him back in the Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett. It's an iconic figure. It's an iconic image. Lovely, lovely photo on the actual card itself. It's just a lovely image. Really, really nice image. Again, this is a figure that means so much to me. So this is the first one, or the first R5-D4 3.75 figure I've owned since Power of the Force 2. So I remember when I love Power of the Force 2. I've still got all my figures, but I bought them to open because I didn't have to, well, back in the 80s, as you know, if you follow my channel, you know why Christmas 1984 means so much to me, because all the Star Wars figures were reduced and I could buy for that Christmas anything I wanted, including a lot of the last 17. So that's why Christmas 1984 means so much to me. 40 years ago this year, Christmas 2024 is going to be brilliant as well. But yeah, I bought the Power of the Force R5-D4, and I remember being so underwhelmed because I was on a bus. Star Wars was back. I popped to Woolworths at lunchtime. I had a job, so I could buy Star Wars figures, and I could buy the vehicles as well, which were all the same as the original line, which I could never afford back in the day. And I was underwhelmed because he had a missile. You had to open. I've still got him, but he's in the loft. But you had to pull him open, and he had a missile, like a yellow missile inside him. And I don't think his middle leg moved. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I shouldn't have been. And of course I had R5-D4 from the original line, but I never saw him for sale. I've never seen R5-D4 for sale back in the 80s. My R5-D4 was my best friend at schools. I remember he used to, because he had wonderful toys, and he shared a bedroom with his older brother, and they just had the best Star Wars toys ever. I remember seeing the Gremlins movie around his house, which was that? I think that was Christmas 1984. It was a pirate copy, and again that film blew me away. Happy days for me. Even though I couldn't really afford these figures, I used to play with his, and he'd bring them in at Christmas, and I remember he had the Yoda puppet. And I'll tell you what, I am going to get the Yoda puppet one day for Empire Strikes Back. I will get that. He had it, and it kind of, I don't know. I don't know. There was something about it. I just thought it was wonderful. Yoda was a mysterious character for me, and I remember when I saw it, I hadn't actually seen the Empire Strikes Back, because all I'd seen was Star Wars, or A New Hope as they call it now, on telly at Christmas. I think it was on 3 years in a row. And then I saw Return of the Jedi when it came out in the cinema, Waltham Cross, with my older brother, and that just changed my world. But yeah, this is why this figure means so much. So the R5-D4 that I got from the original line is a figure that I used to play with my friend because it was his. But then I did a swap. I had all my He-Man figures. We swapped some of our figures, and basically I got a load of his Star Wars figures that I used to play with, and it did include R5-D4, which I've still got. And he's got a repro sticker, and I really want to get a better sticker for him. But what I really want is Hasbro to release R5-D4 in the Mandalorian wave for the retro collection. I think that would just be perfect. Have it exactly the same as it was back in the 70s, but on a Mando card back. I'd love him to be re-released. I know you can buy repros of R5-D4 from Stan Solo. Yeah, I've seen it. It looks wonderful, but I want Hasbro to do this. But anyway, this going back to the Mandalorian Vintage Collection version. As I said, the card back looks great. The figure in the bubble just looks great. There's so much nostalgia in this. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. This is a VC303, and because I took a step back from the Vintage Collection, I love what Hasbro have now done to the back of the cards, just to make it more interesting. It was nice that you could see, you know, what figures were available from that wave, but I love what they've done here with you know, having the details the same as the peel on the front, and just a little bit of basic information about the actual droid. So this is VC303, and yeah, well, I mean, it's only like a paragraph, but was it a battered astromech droid R5-D4 has had a long operational span, bouncing around various owners on Tatooine for decades. On Tatooine for decades. Now so I wasn't sure. I said he, but I was thinking, you know, maybe he's not a he. But yeah, Hasbro confirmed it. Now he resides in Docking Bay 3 to 5 of Mos Eisley Spaceport in Peli Motto's employ. So there you go. But yeah, there you go. You learn something new every day. R5-D4 is a he, which is interesting in the new society that we live in. But yeah, great figure, and the card is lovely and thick. It does seem a shame to open this, because it's such a beautiful card and it will display so well on the wall. But luckily I bought a second one in Great Yarmouth, so I've got one to open, one to display. And again, I did fancy buying this when I did my order to Lame, but because I wanted, you know, I didn't want to risk it, because I had such a bad experience with Lame. But most of my, as I've mentioned before, most of my figures that I ordered came perfect. But then I think a lot of that is because I didn't order too many. The more figures you order, the bigger the box, the more things can go wrong. So yeah, but these, I mean, even this card, this is the one I'm opening. It's in perfect condition. But yeah, there's only one way. Yeah, it's a beautiful image on there. But there's only one way to open this, and it is like it was Christmas 1984. So let's do this.
Do they know it's Christmas time?
Right, check that out. Looks wonderful, lovely. I mean, straight away the silver paint applications of his three little eyes, and also he's got his little antenna as well, the little aerial on top. Just looks like a wonderful figure. And also one of the reasons I did buy one to open, I mean, it's a great figure, but I'm sort of dropping a hint to the wife. Birthday's coming up, she's asked for a list. So I've stuck Mando's Naboo Starfighter on there, which I think is a great ship, which I've wanted since it was released, because I love, you know, if you follow my channel, I love Star Wars Episode 1. I love the Naboo Starfighter, and I love what they did in the Book of Boba Fett with Mando's new ship. It looks wonderful. And I want this R5-D4 to sit in the back of Mando's Naboo Starfighter. So hopefully my wife will buy it for me. It's on my list, so we'll see. But Star Action Figures, they had it, like, was it $99.99, 20% off, which which when you put it in your basket, you get 20% off. And then I was about to put it on my list to the wife, and now they've changed it to 10% off, so it's like 90 quid at Star Action Figures. But Comic and Cocktails, the Naboo Mando Starfighter is 80 quid. So I think that's a bit more, that's a bit more of a realistic price. So fingers crossed I do get Mando's Naboo Starfighter. We'll have to see. But I'm going to get this bad boy open and we're going to have a proper look. And I'm going to compare him to my original R5-D4 from the 80s, which I swapped from my best friend at school for some of my He-Man figures. Right, so check him out, R5-D4. He looks absolutely amazing. The colours are so vibrant. If we have a look at it in more detail, we can see we can see all the paint applications on there. There's a bit of weathering on there as well, which it's a nice touch because obviously he's now got new employment on Tatooine, but it's kind of subtle. He's still bright white and vibrant, and I like that. I think he just pops out of in the bubble. He was just popping, and he pops now. And I think a lot of that is because of the silver paint applications. The blue is perfect, and it's just enough weathering. It's not over the top. Obviously they can save that for when they re-release this figure, but look at that. He's got the blue on his legs. It's so screen accurate. I love it. Look at it. Look at every single detail on there. It's got the wires at the front of his leg. I mean, the thing is, it's so different from the original Kenner version. There is no comparison. But yeah, I love the silver on here. It's got the antenna, which I think is important. And if we look at the top of the dome as well, he looks absolutely wonderful. I love it. I absolutely love this. This is a 10 out of 10. He's got the silver. But does he, like the Retro Collection Chopper, does he click? Nah, he doesn't click. They should just add the click in there just for nostalgia purposes. Even though it's not retro, they should add the click on there. Why not? But anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to compare him. I'm going to get his brothers. I'm going to compare him and just see, see what they look like together. I'm also going to get the guys out of the X-Wings, which are behind, which is easier said than done. So we've got this guy here. And also, I've got one of my Pride droids, which again, they're from Disney, but they're fantastic as well. So I'm just going to get them set up, and we'll have a look. So I was just setting up R5-D4, and I've noticed that the actual middle leg does actually move. So you can adjust it so it's flatter. I don't know if you can see that under there, but it really, it's got a lot of movement, so you can adjust it to sync up with the back legs, or or the two normal legs. And I think that's a nice touch, because I've not seen that I've not noticed it on a droid before. But yeah, I was having a little look off camera. It's just got the right amount of weathering, in my opinion. I mean, I would like a really weathered R5-D4 for the future, but this one is perfect, because this is just how he was when we first saw him in the Book of Boba Fett. But he looks absolutely just wonderful. He looks great. And then this is one of the Disney droids that I picked up. It's from the Pride collection. I got this. They were selling this in the Disney Character Warehouse when I was in Orlando back in April. $29.99. Let your eyes be your guide. I thought that was a great price, but I bought mine from Shop Disney. I got a discount. I probably paid maybe £45 for it. But I like it. I just love the colours. You've got all the different droids and all the different colours. I think it's a great set. And yeah, it's you know, I've got him sitting in my my Marox X-Wing because I didn't want to. I have got the right droid. I can't remember what his name is, but I didn't want to. I've only got one. I didn't want to open the card back up. And then here's the other droid from the other X-Wing that came with it. I can't remember what he's called either. But he's a lovely looking droid as well. He's got nice weathering. But not as nice as R5-D4. Which I think R5-D4 just looks, I think it just looks great. But I definitely think that the Disney droids are good as well. I saw the Shop Disney UK, everything's sold out so quick. And I did fancy, they've done some great Halloween droids and Christmas droids, which I picked up a couple of Christmas droids that I missed out on. I got one in the Character Warehouse, and I got one in World of Disney, which was good. I was glad to pick them up. I always miss out on the Halloween ones, and they had a nice, it was like a Frankenstein droid with a big chunk out of his head, and that looked good. I fancied picking it up, but it's yeah, it was only on there for maybe, what, 2 weeks, and it's sold out now. It's not even Halloween yet. So yeah, you've got to be quick with the old Disney, especially in the UK, because things don't last forever. And also the Star Tours ship, $300. I would have liked to have got that, because I love Star Tours. I think Star Tours is just it's just great. And because it's the big birthday next year, and I kind of think it's too soon. I mentioned in the video we're thinking about going back to Abu Dhabi for Warner Brothers World and Ferrari World. It's a great place, not really my choice. But also going to maybe Disneyland Paris, because I've not been there since 2006. And I enjoyed it there, and I really do. I love Star Tours. I love Star Tours so much. We went on it because it had all when me and my son went back in April, it had all the new stories with like Ahsoka and the Mandalorian on there. And I think was Andor on it? I can't remember. But I love Star Tours, and I love the merch, and I love the nostalgia, because I'm a sucker for nostalgia. But I'm just going to get my my original R5-D4s. So here's the original Kenner R5-D4s. One of them probably I bought in the last maybe 15 years, because you always see them at toy fairs. And one is my original one, which I swapped with my best friend at school. And this would have been around the time that Rocky 4 came out. Because I remember seeing Rocky 4. It wasn't, where did I watch it? Not at Wood Green. Was it Turnpike Lane? Was it Turnpike Lane? Turnpike Lane, I think I watched Rocky 4, and it was mad. Loved it. But I remember swapping my Rocky 4. I had like a booklet from the theatre, and I remember swapping that for, it must have been free. Was it free? Might have been free Stormtroopers from my best friend, because he wanted new toys, he wanted new stuff, he wanted He-Man. And I thought that was a great deal, and I've still got all those Stormtroopers. But yeah, one of our deals was He-Man figures, and I swapped, during the swap, I think I swapped loads of his Star Wars, which I've got all of them, but it did include R5-D4. And how do I know which one it is? It's this one here, because if you look closely, because I don't want to ever mix up my original childhood toys with, extra ones that I've picked up along the way from toy fairs. But this one's got a little kind of mark. I don't know if you can just see that. Just on the bottom of his dome, there's just a little mark just there. And that's how I know that's the original R5-D4 from my childhood. So he's got a sticker on there. It's not the best sticker. I got it off eBay years ago, because his sticker wore off years ago from me, on my many adventures, which did include playing with water as well. But yeah, I love this, and I'd never get rid of it. I'd never ever get rid of it. But yeah, bring this out in the retro collection. You know, have it pop in just like the vintage collection one in the packet, but have it on a Mando card. Have it on a Mando card. And this is just another one that I picked up, you know, over the years. If I see them, because I'm a sucker for a droid. I love the droids, so I'll always pick up an R2-D2 or a R5-D4 if I see them. If I see them going cheap. But yeah, I absolutely love this figure. But yeah, definitely 10 out of 10 for the vintage collection R5-D4. And the only thing that lets it down is that his head doesn't click. But yeah, great figure, highly recommended. Still available from Lame, £9. Let your eyes be a guide. That is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know you care. Also helps the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.